Hello and welcome to another video. Working on the BitTorrent course on Codecrafters, which you might notice is dark at the moment, which is because I had become a paid member because this was no longer available. But I decided I wouldn't break the budget. So what I've got is I've actually kind of made a kind of boilerplate for download piece. We did the past download piece last episode, so that's just kind of parsing out all the different parts and kind of making it all look nice. Gonna have a good user experience. And then here in the download piece, we kind of get everything. So like this whole thing could potentially be made into a little function because that's very similar to the handshake pair, the handshake file. Pretty much from there down to there was handshake file, and then here onwards we do something a bit different. And getting the random pair, we always get a random pair now. So there's a couple things here. I might actually get rid of that fixed me, but also add a fixed me up here where why not try all pairs? So that could be something to fit in with multi-process, which is something that's kind of mentioned as an optional here. So we could consider pipelining around 5 requests, which was from the kind of white paper, very white paper that Bram brought out to basically make things a bit better. So yeah, what we kind of need to do is kind of step through this, and I thought I'd just kind of have a little quick burst. It's getting a little dark, so I might not go forever, but we'll see what it is. I think I might want to just do that, make it a bit nicer for you all, and we can see here that this is kind of the output that is kind of happened, and like for example, so the piece index, we probably need to make sure that the it is zero based. So if we go your thing, we have a info. I'll get rid of that. We have an info thing, which will tell us how many pieces there are. So there are 3. So we should be able to do this download piece for 0, 1, and 2 for a 0 thing. So we'll try a 0. It's not actually doing anything yet, but that's just a command line option that's passed in. And you can see here it's like printing out like a lot of garbage, and I kind of want to make sure that maybe it's all going there, so it is not read percent bytes out of this, and yes, I want this to be std error things, and maybe put an F in front of it. That way, it's all kind of the output. They testing. Well, they're not actually testing an output, but the output I want it to be is solely the piece that gets downloaded, or both if I have both printed out to my console. So if we go down here and up here, so what we want to do is we basically want to read over and over messages. We can kind of see it here, the bit tight now, but we can see here that we come an alternating stream of length prefixes and messages, and length 0 will happen from time to time and their keeper lives and should just get ignored. We can do so. And the other ones will have a single byte, which is their type, and it will mean one of these things. And then depending on what it is, we do something else. And so that's roughly what we need to do. And for this, we need to kind of do that kind of multiple messages back and forth to get the right file. So if we kind of run here, we can see that it's hitting unimplemented, and the unimplemented, I believe it's hitting is probably this one. So if we do some ho, because we're getting close to Christmas, we can see it is hitting that one. So that's basically meant that we have waited for a bitfield message. I've done the courtesy and actually kind of made a, it's actually way up the top. I've made a PM message type, and I've made an enum, but I've forced it to be of size uint8, so it's only going to be 1 byte. So these are the types that are done in the document. And where were we before? I kind of want to be back where that unimplemented was. It doesn't take me there. Unimplemented. This unimplemented, do we have in other places? I wonder. We just have it in those two. I kind of want to not do that. I want to do this, that, and that, and that. And if I ever copy paste in the future, I'll get that one. But yeah, anyway, so we're in this bit field. It's like taking me out like miles. I don't know why. Is it because I decided I'd have this construct? I mean, we can not do it. I just like doing that because at the moment, if I do something like int I equals 5, and if we did a break because we have to do a break because we're in C, and then if we do something else on, like, I think choke was one, choke was one, we can't actually go int I equals 7 here, and I think, well, I haven't saved. I think if we do that, it will say previous redefinition. But if I wrap, what do we want this like that? We now can do that. It basically shadows the variables that we had going. Was that? I might need to see if I need to come in with the old dinner instead. It is getting a little late, so I probably shouldn't dilly too long. Anyway, what do we want to do in this bitfield thing? We can read and ignore the payload. Cool. We do need to read it though. So what I might do is uint p payload, and then just if not read full payload. Except we want to do sock there and payload and size of payload. And if that is not the case, we'll go in. I would have to step through the debugger because we're not actually printing out error messages as well as sending a nice message. Which, I mean, potentially this read full, it could be that this if we put our error messages here, which I may actually go and do a less than equal 0 there, and would only read an error, and we can pass that like that, and we can I mean, we can keep that in. It doesn't like something there. We need to pass it as a little thing. Cool. So now we should get to the next point. Now we get to this unreachable here, which means that we've kind of come out of this loop, which means that like potentially once we do this, we should probably set packet length equal to 0. Would be really cool if there was like just a div null that I mean there is a div null that I can open and just kind of pipe stuff to, but in like a buffer I kind of want to say read this many bytes. It's potentially possible of just read this many bytes but don't actually return it or save it back to me. But for now I will do this, and because I'm doing this payload of a specific type, I kind of want to do this. Golly, it got like a bit windy. But then, yeah, it does like weird things with the tabbing. But if I do like this, it doesn't. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I prefer it like that though, without having the weird new line. Cool. So once we get that, we need to read and ignore the payload. That's cool. But we also need to send off a request. So we need to do the printf. And what request do we need to do? We need to send off an ID. Oh, now see, we need to send each interested message. So we actually need to send off a. So the packet length is going to be 1, because we're going to reuse this packet length here, and I guess I will need to remember to set it back to 0 at the end, or I suppose can I just go continue? No. I mean, really, this should just be while true. It is a kind of good thing, but then we don't have any breaks, but we have a go to end or a bunch of stuff. So that can be that. Right. So we need to send a length to start with, and this will be an unsigned character, but we kind of need to send this packet length to be L to NL. No, what do I want? H to NL of 1, because that is what we want to send, and we want to send like just the raw bytes. So I think I want to do something like that. I mean, I would prefer to be able to just send. Wow, like maybe we can make a send full. Send full type thing, and we can do something like this. size of key load, which will let us basically send all the things in like a buffer. I mean, I'm doing it kind of like quite a hacky way that I've got like a variable on the stack, but then I'm reading into that. But hey, if it works, it works. And I think if this does not work, we should bail. If I can work out why my keyboard is not working. June. So if we, yeah, I'll just go to end. If we can't send a full packet, then we want to do that. So we want to send full. We can probably just copy. Copy and paste that, and then this will be send. We still want to do the same thing. Int, and this can be like send, is that right? Or no, maybe we just want to do right, because we don't really care about the flags. So we can just do right, I think. I can actually just call this ret now. And send that much out of that. Or a lot of like manual copying. Could only send that many things, but also copy that to that, and let's just confirm what return does. Yeah, I think if it is 0, that's probably a legitimate thing. Otherwise, we do that. So maybe I want to change this to be full rather than that, and maybe just sent to written and do that a bunch of places, and this written, something like that, and then send full we can change to write full, just to be clear on like what we're actually using under the hood. So now that we've written that, we also need to send the type. So I guess we could say type equals, and we want to set it to interested. And if we then write that, and then I think I want to make a little thing from this, so maybe I can do that, and that will just make a little binary. Maybe I'll make it here. It's a bit gross, but we'll do that. So this is going to take a buffer of a variable, and what it is going to output is an address to that variable, which we'll do it like this. And if it's a more complicated expression, then it should error out, and be like, well, what's happening? With a context error, syntax error, I hope. But yeah, you don't know. But now we can do the size of, and we can make it the size of that variable. And then here, we can, instead of doing that, we can do b of address length and get rid of that second thing. And here we can like replace that with b, and like find that, something like that. Yeah. Maybe do that and be. I mean, it's a bit of a hassle to go and change it all, but it makes sure we copy paste, and it makes it look a lot nicer without all those size odds and whatnot. But now we are missing out on something that doesn't like it. Where are we looking? Expected expression for that. Right, so we still need one more there. We still need one more in pretty much all the places that I took it out. Except, yeah. Cool, so now that does something. And we can see that we're reading, we're writing, we're reading some more, and we get unimplemented type. Cool. That is really useful. We can probably do type, and we can probably put in the type number. What could be good is, which isn't really worthwhile here, is translating the type number into what type it is, because here I have to go and be like, what is type 1? It is unchoked. And that is the message I want to receive next. But I think on that note, I think this is probably a reasonable amount to get done, just to kind of show the back and forth, and how it kind of goes out all about it. I think I'm just going to do all of this as one commit. So if we do that, we can do that, and process bitfield, yeah, message, because the next one is really just the next message. Now I probably should do like git push, so we can push it to GitHub. We can also push it to this